Welcome into the Rob Bro Show. I am Rob Bro. This is the Rob Bro Show. I am the host. You are the co-host. You can co-host today by commenting below on the Starting Line chat line. The Starting Line chat line brought to you by Starting Line Counseling. Go to startinglinecounseling.com. Today we're here in the Diversified Lenders Studios. Let's just knock all the hosts and commenters out of the way right here at the beginning. The sponsors as well, Diversified Lenders. Turn your accounts receivable into cash. They know what they're doing. I don't. Lots to talk about today. We'll talk about the top 25 of the AP poll. Talk about Michael Orr a little bit. Why? Because he's in the news. We'll also talk about Deuce Vaughn. The Deuce is loose. And a little bit about the Texas Tech offensive line. You might be asking yourself, Rob, why is this not live? Well, we're trying new things. We're doing things differently. We're trying to build a YouTube channel. Some of our non-live videos have done better than our live videos. They show up in the feed better. We're just trying new things. It's Overreaction Monday. We're going to see what happens with this one. And see how we do the show moving forward. We'll still have some live elements. The Gauchos, as always, will be live. We'll see what happens with the Rob Bro Show. But, hey, it's where we are. It's what we're doing. And you can still be involved below right now by commenting. You can like, you can subscribe, you can comment right now. Comment what you're thinking about this beautiful Starting Line Counseling hat, about the background. Don't comment on me. I can't handle it. All right. The top 25 came out this morning. I was waiting for it all weekend long. We talked about it on the Gambling Gauchos podcast a couple of times. We talked about it on the Rob Bro Show. Where will Texas Tech finish or start in the top 25? I thought that Texas Tech would be ranked. And based on a few of the polls I had seen, I thought they would be ranked higher than 2023. That did not happen. They were not ranked at all. In fact, they're just in receiving votes. Now, Brett McMurphy had them at 11. Shayon Jaraja had them at 19. So you have some ball knowers out there putting them ranked. But the common man, the journalists, the big J journos out there, do not have Texas Tech collectively as a top 25 team. Now, does that matter? No, absolutely not. Rankings do not matter. Rankings do not matter. But if you start ranked, you get up there a little bit higher there at the end. TCU starting unranked last year. They played for it all. They played for the national championship. I'm not saying Texas Tech's going to play for a national championship, but you don't have to start ranked to be ranked at the end of the year. And starting with receiving votes is just about as good as being ranked in the preseason. You're right there. You beat Wyoming, you beat Oregon, you're ranked. Boom. In fact, you beat Wyoming bad. You put it on Wyoming, you're probably ranked when you play Oregon. 25, 24, 23, whatever it is, you'll probably be ranked there. Some notable rankings here. Texas, number 11. Yeah, you beat them last year. Utah at 14, Kansas State at 16. You had a lead in the fourth quarter before that one really got away from you. TCU, you had a lead in the fourth quarter before that one really got away from you. They're at 17th. I'm really intrigued about TCU. I can't decide if I love them or hate them this year as a team. OU, number 20. You beat them last year. Ole Miss, 22. You hammered them in the bowl game. Just FYI. And then Texas A&M, number 23. So there's some rankings there for you in the top 25. Texas Tech not amongst the top 25, but they are receiving votes. Put it on the bulletin board, Joey. That's what I have to say. If you're not ranked, you're disrespected, right? And Texas Tech certainly can take some disrespect. In fact, this is probably good for the team who might have been eating some cheese with all of the cheese coming out this offseason on the Texas Tech Red Raiders program, to steal a phrase from Bill Parcells. All right, let's continue with Texas Tech football here for a minute with the Texas Tech offensive line. Joey McGuire saying the Texas Tech offensive line basically night and day from last season. In a press conference after the scrimmage, he said he was joking with Tyler Shuck about how much time he had in the pocket, that he could just sit back there and knit a quilt with how much time he and Baron Morton had in the scrimmage in practice the last couple of days. That's good to hear. Even if it's just coach speak, even if it's just him trying to hype up his guys, man, that is good to hear. You could be saying now, if the offensive line is sitting back there for a tea party with the quarterbacks, does the defensive line just stink? No. He said in the red zone period, after he made some comments to the defensive line coach and to Tim DeRuyter about the offensive line, the defensive line had several sacks in the red zone period, which is where you don't want to have them. Iron sharpens iron. The defensive line is good. Steve Linton's been out with a thumb injury. The offensive line is way better than last year, allegedly. I would love to see that in action this season. Would love to see that in action. Would actually be very hyped to see that live in charge. Comment below in the starting line chat line what you think is going to be the best turnaround for Texas Tech football. I've got the offensive line. If you can think of another position, please give it to me. If not, just comment something on the offensive line, how excited you are for the offensive line. Maybe your favorite offensive lineman from Texas Tech in the history of Texas Tech. Up next, we have Michael Orr. This is a very short story. I don't have a lot on it. But just saying, yeah, obviously. Michael Orr, there's a book written about him. And then the movie comes out, and he says, yeah, that's really over-exaggerated. Really over-exaggerated. They took a 5-star prospect offensive lineman and said, wow, I'd really like him to play for Ole Miss. He's in a bad home. Let's bring him in and indoctrinate him into going to Ole Miss. But we've known this for how many years, but it's just coming up again? Hasn't Michael Orr said this the whole time? That it was an absolute sham? Did he bring new evidence that this absolute fraud happened in college football that many years ago? I mean, they plucked a kid who looked like he was going to be really good at football, brought him in just for him to go to Ole Miss, paid for everything. I mean, how is this not like high-level infractions going on back then? But Michael Orr finally standing up for himself, I guess. Maybe he needs the money from the Blindside movie that he didn't get it. Who knows? But shout out Michael Orr. We knew that the movie was exaggerated. We knew you knew what a bed was. All right. Up next, Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn and the Dallas Cowboys playing this weekend in their first action. Deuce Vaughn looked absolutely electric. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, it's just against the third string and yada, yada. Well, he was the only one that looked good for Dallas this weekend. Offensively, from the running back position, Davis and Dowdle didn't look great. Dowdle took a pass nearly to the house, then fumbled. Davis looked just terrible. Didn't have any burst. Deuce Vaughn has burst. Deuce Vaughn gets lost behind offensive lines. You don't need to be 6'2" to play football. Deuce Vaughn is going to be a very good player in this league, hopefully for the Dallas Cowboys, if they can figure it out. I honestly do not have faith in the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator, a.k.a. the head coach, to figure it out. But I can almost guarantee after his first opportunity, 8 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown, 1 26-yard carry, that Deuce Vaughn will make this team. Deuce Vaughn will have an opportunity. It's going to be hard for him to be in the return game with KaVontae Turpin, unless KaVontae Turpin keeps fumbling. He fumbled quite a bit last year. He's fumbled this year. He fumbled in the Houston game. He fumbled in the Jaguars preseason game. If he doesn't get that under control, maybe it's Deuce Vaughn who just takes over return duties. And that allows him to get out there and be on the squad and then play a little running back, play a little inside receiver, whatever you need him to do. Certainly want him to play running back, though. He looks great in between the tackles. Now, again, he got in the second half. He gets in versus maybe not the starters, but you didn't have your starters out there either. I think that Deuce Vaughn can be a player in this league. I truly do. And I think that his first action as a preseason running back, whoever it was against, whenever it was in the game, speaks to that. Absolutely 100% speaks to that. All right, so Deuce Vaughn, major star, is my overreaction for Overreaction Monday. What is your overreaction today? Comment it below on the starting line chat line. Your overreactions in the comments section. We'll get to those maybe next week. Maybe that's something we do. We read some overreactions from the previous show. Maybe we go on Tuesdays as well. Maybe we read those on Tuesdays and just go live 5 days a week. We'll have to figure it out during football season. This was the Rob Bro Show. I'll be Rob Bro. We'll see you later.